Hey guys, welcome to Rudy's Movie Reviews, San Antonio's unofficial movie critic. And I'm making this video because I just want to share something with you that I can't pinpoint down why I'm feeling this way, but I needed to talk it out. So kind of bear with me as you and we have this conversation, okay? Here it goes. I am experiencing superhero movie fatigue, and I am not at all excited about Endgame.
Heresy!
Yes, I am not at all excited about seeing the conclusion of Phase 5 with Marvel and the Avengers defeating Thanos. I'm not. And I've been thinking about this put my phone over there. I've been thinking about this for a few weeks, really. I really have. And I can't really pinpoint why. I'm thinking about this because for those who know me and who've seen my channel, I'm a comic book nerd. You can't tell because I'm moving and my wall's pretty bare right now, but I grew up on comics, right? 80s, 90s. I love DC, I love Marvel. And I never thought in a million years that I would see the films that we have today. I think it's a wonderful experience that I was able to read these stories as a kid in the 80s and 90s. Cherish them, and again, back in the 80s, 90s, nerd culture really wasn't accepted. You were frowned upon, you were made fun of. I was one of the first guys in my high school to have a Superman shirt in 1991, and I was picked on like crazy because, where are your underoos, you sissy? And they call me names that I can't say nowadays because it's not PC. But back then you can say things like that. So it was pretty cool, and now I can see these stories on the big screen with my kids and share with them. Hey, I read that as a kid. This is probably what's going to happen, and check out this comic. And I would give them paperbacks so they can kind of read for themselves. So ever since the superhero genre started, I'm talking from Blade, really. I'm going to go to Blade when the Marvel universe really kicked up, because a lot of people tend to forget Wesley Snipes really started this whole thing. It was the first Marvel movie to make money. So ever since Blade, that trilogy, and then the X-Men, and then we're talking the Spider-Man Sam Raimi films, and here we are almost 22 years later with a huge filmography of all these movies. And some are amazing, some are not. I love the horrible ones too, like the Fantastic Four and the Silver Surfer. Those were all fun movies. I mean, they're some of my personal favorites because they're silly, fun movies. But after all this time, I'm looking on Twitter, and I know a lot of my YouTube brothers and movie critics are very excited about Endgame. I know a lot of people, there was a spoiler leak that came out last week. I don't know what it was, but there were a lot of people like, I'm staying off of social media because I don't want it spoiled for me. I honestly didn't care. I kind of know how it's going to end already, and I've kind of poked fun on social media like, hey, this is what's going to happen, but I don't know where Adam Warlock is or the Silver Surfer. I kind of know how it's going to end, and if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. But I didn't care if I saw the spoiler or not. I didn't log off anything. If I saw it, big deal. And I'm like, why am I feeling that way? Why am I not so protective of this ending? I don't know what's going on. And then the Star Wars trailer came out, and there's this guy, I forget his name, but I know his last name is Butts. And he saw the trailer for The Rise of Skywalker, and this guy was crying. He was shaking and crying.
No fucking way!
Now, initially when you watch it, you're kind of like, look at this guy, he needs to calm the F down. But I tweeted, I actually envy this guy. I really do. It has been a long time, my friends, since a film or movie has come out that I have been dying to see, or I saw a trailer a billion times, or felt that emotionally vested in a film. The last one I actually felt that vested was Man of Steel in 2013. I actually saw that first teaser trailer and I still get goosebumps. It's one of the best teaser trailers I've ever seen. But that's the last time I felt so vested in, like, my heart was in it, my soul was in it. And again, watching this guy, I envied him. It's like those people at church where they're just like doing this and that. I'm like, I envy you to be able to give up yourself that way. I'm not like that. And I was like, man, what is wrong with me? I don't get it. And the more I thought about it, I just think I'm at the point where I think we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of stories take place. We've seen a lot of directors do amazing work with the content that I grew up and loved, DC and Marvel wise. And I think I'm getting more to the point where I want to see more original content. My favorite two films of 2018, really, but really the top two are Mandy and Suspiria. And those two films are tied in horror, but it's really the visionary look and feel that I admire about these films. It's different. We've seen comic book films 100 times over, guys. We've seen the same template done wonderfully by Marvel over and over again, and there are great films, but I think I'm at the point where I'm just getting tired of it. And Mandy and Suspiria, those types of films that are more art house films, that when you look at the topography, the lighting, and the actual cinematography, and you know the difficulty and talent it takes to make these types of films, I think that's what my interests are really leaning toward now. And I'll always be a fan of comic book movies, but it's just not the same with me anymore. I think it's fatigue and just my taste shifting from a genre that I love to something that's more unique, and I know the talent behind making those. Not that it's hard, not that it's not hard to make those comic book movies, we get that, but it's been done so many times, and the visual effects nowadays are so breathtaking and seamless. Sometimes you can tell their effects, sometimes you can't. So I think that's where my tastes are leaning toward. Maybe because it's also so commercial and so mainstream now. I don't know, because as a kid, being a nerd and knowing that Peter Parker was Spider-Man's secret identity wasn't common knowledge. It wasn't anything like that. It was only nerds knew that. Now everybody does. Thanos, no one knew who the hell Thanos was or what the gauntlet was called. Now everybody knows all the gems, and some people can name all the Infinity Stones. I don't know. It could be that too. I may be reaching on that, but I think maybe that has something to do with it as well. I hope this is a phase. I hope this is just a little phase that I'm experiencing, because I do love comic book heroes, but I'm also growing a fondness of originality and different types of storytelling, more human stories. There was a film I saw on Netflix called Paddleton, with Ray Romano, and I forget the gentleman's name. That's one of my favorite movies of the year, because it was just two guys in a simple story, and that's one of my favorite films of this year. If you haven't seen it, check it out on Netflix. It's called Paddleton. I'm more into more human stories and more simple stories. And as I mentioned with Mandy and Suspiria, more original content, more visionary directing and styles. I think that's what I'm leaning toward. But again, I just had to talk it out. Are you guys feeling the same way? Are you guys having superhero fatigue as well? I could be just the exception to the rule. I could be the odd man out, but I just needed to just share that with you guys. If you're feeling the same way, let me know in the comments below. If I'm just acting crazy and stupid, go ahead and say that as well. But I just want to talk to you guys, talk it out, and let you know how I felt. And as always, guys, thank you for watching Rudy's Movie Reviews, the San Antonio's unofficial movie critic. Please take care. God bless, and live long and prosper. Good night.